Hey there! So today I was thinking about doing a review video on the e.l.f. Studio 11-piece brush set. So yeah. So I got this maybe a week ago. Came in the mail finally with my order because I placed an order for e.l.f. and got a few things. And this is one of the things I got, the 11-piece Studio Collection brush set. And I got the limited edition one with the this glittery, I don't know, sparkle or glitter, whatever. The handles, yeah, the handle. Because the regular ones have the black handles, so I got the one with the glittery sparkle handles. Yeah. Anyway, so the brushes came in a case like this. It's just some rectangular case, but it's kind of nice to have. It's just really simple and clean. And so it zips open around like that, and then it opens up, and then it has 11 brushes. All of them pretty much have their own slot, except these two share one. And yeah, so I'm going to get started and talk about each brush. So the first brush is the Complexion Brush, which is sort of like a powder brush. And I don't know, so far I think it's okay. It's not amazing. I wouldn't buy this brush individually. It's just sort of like stubby, and the bristles are not that dense. It smashes down really easily, and it's really just like too floppy. So I mean, it's okay if you want a sheer wash of powder or whatever, but other than that, it's kind of just a typical powder brush. Yeah. And the good thing though is that they do have like these brush guard things. I mean, they're not amazing, but it does keep them stored well and clean, so that's a plus. The next brush is the fan brush. It's like this, and I don't really have much to say about this. It's a fan brush. It's not like there's an exceptionally good quality of a certain fan brush. It does what it's supposed to do. It, you know, light wash, light dusting, or sweep away any fallout. That's pretty much all this does. So in most cases, I don't like fan brushes, especially when they come in sets, because for the majority of the time, it's really useless. Yeah. Okay, so the next brush is a concealer brush. It just looks like that. It's really just flat and stubby. It's not like most concealer brushes that are a little bit more elongated and comes to more of a tapered point. This one is a little bit rounder, so I actually confused it for an eyeshadow brush at first. But I mean, I don't really like concealer brushes. It should do the job, but I mean, I would personally probably use it more towards like cream products. You know, like if you want to put on some cream eyeshadow, or you know, some kind of cream product that you wouldn't mind using a little stubby brush like this to apply. Okay, so the next brush is the Smudge Brush. It's a little smudge tip like this, a little slightly rounded, pretty sturdy. Like that. And I mean, for the most part, it does what it's supposed to do. I like it for this. It does smudge out the liner really well, and I don't know. I love smudger brushes anyway. The Sony Castric smudger brush is really good. I don't have it with me, but this is okay, smudger brush. So I'm liking this though. The next brush is the angled foundation brush. It looks like this. It's just your basic paddle foundation brush with a slight angle. So I mean, there's nothing really special about it. It doesn't apply foundation any better than a flat paddle foundation brush, but I mean, it's nice that it's angled because you can get into the nooks around the nose and other areas and blend it out a little bit better, but other than that, it's pretty ordinary, pretty standard foundation brush. Alright, moving on to the other side. The first brush is the powder brush. It's a flat top powder brush like this, very, very dense. I do actually own, hold on, let me get it. This is the original, the regular studio line powder brush. It's pretty much exactly the same. So I was really excited to find out that this came in the set because this brush is pretty amazing. So I'm thinking of this as my backup for this brush. So yeah. The good thing about it is that it's flat, so you can put it in the powder and you can pat it on rather than having a flat brush where you would have to pat it on this way. It's easier because then it enables you to buff it out better, and it's just so much nicer to have a flat top brush that's dense and really soft, and yeah, I like this a lot. This is actually something worth purchasing on its own. That's why I have this one already. Yeah, so I was excited to have another one when it came in this set. The next brush is the small angled brush, like that. Pretty typical, you know, angled brush. I've been using this for my brows actually, just filling them in with powder. But yeah, I like this. Just typical. It's pretty sturdy. It's not flimsy, so I like this. Works pretty well. Next brush is the small precision brush, which looks almost like the Smudge Brush, except it comes more tapered out into a point. So I would consider this like a lip brush. I mean, you can use it for whatever you want, but it's called a precision brush, but in my mind, I feel like it's a lip brush because the bristles are synthetic, it comes to a point, so I mean, it probably do a good job. I don't personally like lip brushes, so yeah, I'll find some use for this though. Alright, the next brush is the eyeshadow C brush. It actually says it on there, so you probably can't read it, but yeah, it looks like this. And it's just a really stubby little C, see the C? C-shaped brush. It's really nice because it's soft, it's super soft, it blends amazingly, and it picks up color really well. Like, you can pick up the pigment in the eyeshadow, and it blends it all out, and it's really nice because it's stubby, it's really dense. For an eyeshadow brush, that's pretty nice because you can both pack on the color as well as blend out with one brush. So this is pretty versatile. I like it because it's not so rounded at the top. It's a little bit more flat, but yeah, this is a pretty good brush, I have to say. This is actually, I just added this to my not every day, but the my better eye brushes that I have. Because I divide my brushes that I use more frequently, and the other ones are just stored away. So this has been added to my eye brushes. So I really like this. The next brush is the blush brush, which looks like this. And the thing I like about this is that it doesn't look like most of the other blush brushes that I have, because either they're more of like a paddle shape, like a rounded paddle shape, or they come to like a ball tip. But this one is cool because it kind of tapers inwards and it comes to like a pretty precise point. So you can actually go into the hollows of your cheeks and fill in with contour, and then you can turn it over and buff it out. So this brush is actually pretty good. I'm liking this so far. So yeah, the tip is quite pointed, and I like it. But the thing is, it's not that dense of a brush as most of the other like flat powdery brushes that they have. It's pretty ordinary in terms of thickness, but I don't know, it works well for a medium density of a brush. And the last brush that came with this is the contour brush, which is like this. It's sort of like a little domey blending brush, like an eye brush, but it's called a contour brush, so it's probably good for crease work. Personally, this is not really compared to like my MAC blending brush or the one I have by Sonia Kashuk, because it is really thin. I mean, in terms of like how dense the brush is, like you could squeeze it down, it's not gonna blend it out. And when you press the bristles down, it actually like opens up the whole ferrule. Like you can see into the ferrule because the bristles are not dense enough. I mean, it doesn't fill the ferrule enough that it would be able to not move around. So you can press it down and you can see right into the ferrule. It's kind of cheapy feeling. Like it feels like you can just rip the bristles out. So yeah, I mean it's okay for blending. It does a light job of blending. It just feels really flimsy. Like it's not gonna it's not gonna be sturdy. It's not gonna be like a brush you could depend on for doing crease work or blending out your eyeshadow. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all my brushes. They're all emptied out of the container now. I actually like this though because it's probably really good for travel. And I could put all my other brushes, like my MAC brushes or my Sonia Kashuk brushes in here and take all my favorites with me when I travel. And it's nice and clean and portable. And it actually came with like a breakdown of all the brushes and what you could use them for, which is pretty nice. But, I mean, it's pretty standard. And yeah. That's pretty much it. I know it's kind of boring. It's just a review on the brush sets. Yeah. I'm having another review coming up soon, so look out for that. My nails are actually done today. I mean, like, big surprise. Like, they're usually like empty, but I mean, I didn't go crazy. It's just really subtle, like taupey color. It's Country Club Khaki by Orly, which is right here. Looks like this. Country Club Khaki. And I really like this nail polish. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked it, and if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, send me a message or leave me a comment. And that's pretty much it. I think I said that more than once. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.